Dave Hewlett from Yass, Blackburn. There's 1,800 acres here. It's a self-replacing merino flock. There's joined around about 2,800 odd ewes, depending on the season. They're preg-tested for lambing percentages, putting into specific paddocks, wherever the most shelter is. We start generally around about the 12th of August, and not generally, but you can have pretty ordinary not storms, but just wind and rain coming through, and sometimes snow, which has needless to say, pretty large impact on your lambing percentage because the lambs being so small, you lose quite a few in fairly shocking conditions. Whereas ewes do now, with lambs, actively seek out the windbreaks, and with twinning ewes we've got it getting upwards of 150 to 160% of twinning survivors in merino ewes, which is, for us, is pretty bloody good anyway. Initially, Greening Australia sprayed the rows out as to where they were going to come back in here within the next couple of months, as to where the sown, where the seeds were going to be going, all sown on the contour, and just left. I then stocked it fairly well to try to get any competition down in the process. But then Greening Australian Grain came back into here and sowed along the contour over the top of the lines where it was originally sown, so there was no competition. I came back in here within the next fortnight and then sprayed over the top of that again to try to suppress competition in the form of native grasses anyway, or any grasses at all. And then luckily it rained, and the results are here, which is quite extraordinary. I think it's been locked up now completely for 2 years, or not quite 2 years, October this year, 2 years. And the response is, I think it's fantastic. The number of trees is staggering, absolutely brilliant. That's the beauty of it, the fact that they are wind breaks within the paddocks. So you might have 4 rows of trees growing, and then you might have 150 metres, you might have 100 metres, you might have 50 metres between the wind breaks as well. So you've still got access to the paddock. Stock is easy. I mean, it's easy enough to muster stock in here, one thing or another still. It's not as if the paddock is completely turned over, as you just suggested, to a forest. It's not. You've just got trees sown in here which are going to increase productivity plus bring back wildlife into a stage that the paddock becomes a useful sort of an enterprise again. And you couldn't use it before because it's a hill, it's exposed, and even though it is exposed, the growth of the trees is still extraordinary. It hasn't had a detrimental effect on the fact that it's an exposed hill. I think because they are natives and they just know how to do the job here in Australia. And this, I think, is the only way we can keep the system going. We have to put in trees to look after the property anyway, and to keep it going properly. Try to.
Yes.